What? You're gonna take my spaceship? I will shoot you up, boy. Saddam, what you saying there? You want to take my spaceship?
What's happening to you, boy? Come here, boy.
Saddam, you want to take my spaceship, boy?
Behave yourself, boy. Come.
Saddam, you don't with me, boy.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
Saddam,
Ready? Oh, you come and see I'm sitting down there.
Saddam, it's okay, boy. Saddam.
Call the ambulance, man.
Hello?
Okay, Mom, are you supposed to go on the phone?
Yes, officer.
Alright, so we need to get the plan. Let's go through.
Look at me. I don't know what happened to him.
You boys are back, Saddam.
You want to behave yourself?
I'm killing you, boy.
Yes, ma'am. Here he is. Dylan. Dylan, behave yourself.
As I don't play football for my team, I'll kill you, boy.
Dylan, behave yourself.
Kill me in a back and
Behave yourself, Dylan. We'll take care of you.
Let me tell you something. Me and Dr. Connie jumping from a chariot. Where you going to do that?
Ma'am, I understand your police, but this man is arresting himself and everyone, so please step back, let me do my job. He needs to be taken to the hospital at once.
You come in my house and bring the police, and you want to carry my son in the hospital? Ma, let me carry him now. Me and Mark will go with him in the hospital, and you take care of Justin till we come back. Alright? Alright? Let me tell you something.
Excuse me, Mom.
Behave yourself, Dylan. Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Dylan, behave.
Behave yourself.
This lady, Dylan, calm down.
kill you, boy. Kill you, boy. Kill you, boy. Leave me alone. Look over you, boy. Kill you, boy. Saddam. Kill you, boy. Saddam. Leave me alone. Saddam. Saddam.
Alright, you'll be good. They're gonna be alright. They're gonna be alright.
Good day, Mom. My name is Dr. Clark and I'm from the psychiatry department. I understand that you're here with your husband today?
Yes, doctor. I really don't know what happened to my husband this morning. Just so he just tripped off. I never knew him to behave so bad. Since our first son drowned in front of Dylan 3 years ago, he has never been himself. But this morning was the worst. He behaving like some kind of demon take him over. He mother tried to jar him, but that didn't work. So I say it's best we bring him here.
Okay. I'm so sorry to hear that his son passed away 3 years ago. So Dylan has been alone for some time now. Do you mind telling me what's been going on for the last 3 years?
Well, doctor, since Dylan witnessed Ronald drowning in front of him and was unable to assist him, he began acting really paranoid. He always thought that the whole world was against him, and he always saying that somebody do it obia for we to lose his son. For the past 3 years, I would hear him talking to himself sometimes. But I say that will stop as time goes by.
What kinds of things would say to himself?
Well, doctor, he always talking about this Saddam. The same person he was talking about this morning. And he keeps saying that this Saddam caused his son to die. The thing is, doctor, we don't know any Saddam, I don't know who is the son I'm talking about, you know. I feel he just imagining this person.
How has his sleep and appetite been recently?
Well, doctor, he does work shift and thing, you know. So his sleep does really be messed up. And I really noticed for like a month now he hardly eaten anything.
Okay. I noticed also that his clothing is really soiled. Has he been taking baths regularly and attending to his personal hygiene?
Doctor, I'm ashamed to tell him, but he has been in nearly 2 weeks now, no matter how much we beg him.
Okay. So what you've told me so far is that he hasn't been doing so well over the past 3 years. So he's been doing odd things like talking to himself. He has this belief that Saddam is against the family, as well as he is occasionally seen as appears as if he's hearing and seeing things. And he's not attending to his personal hygiene, is that correct?
Yes, doctor.
Right. And it got out of hand this morning when you found him in some bushes.
Correct.
Is there any sort of medication?
No, doctor.
Okay, alright. So what you want to do for him now is you want to run some tests, take some blood tests, as well as have a CT scan done, right? In order to do these things, though, we might need to give him an injection to sedate him. But before that, I will have a little chat with him just to complete my assessment. Oh, but first, do you know if he uses any sort of substances like alcohol, cigarettes, marijuana, or cocaine?
Well, doctor, he does only smoke about 2 to 3 cigarettes and drink 1 or 2 beers now and then when he like anything. But he don't ever drink more than 2 beers. And he never smoked nothing like no marijuana or cocaine or nothing like that.
But just to be certain, I still want to have his urine tested to see if there's any sort of drugs like marijuana or cocaine in the system. It's not that I doubt you, but a lot of the times patients may use these substances and relatives are unaware. Patients who use substances like marijuana, cocaine, or even alcohol often present like how Dylan presented. Right? Once we get back the results, and we know that he doesn't have any sort of marijuana or cocaine in his system, we could move ahead to make a proper diagnosis.
Okay, doctor. Well, you do what you have to do now.
No problem, right? I'll be back.
Salam.
Sir, I'm from the psychiatry unit. Can you please tell me your name?
Superman! Borrow!
Do you know where you are?
Salam! You come over here! Salam, come here, boy!
Nurse Richards? Could you give this patient some sedation, please? I'll write the dose in the dose, right? Okay, sure. He'll also need to go for a CT scan, as well as have some blood done and a urine respiratory test done, please. Okay, sure. All right, thank you.
Salam! Salam! Salam, boy! Salam! Salam, leave me alone, boy! Leave me alone! Salam!
Mrs. Shani, I do apologize for the long wait, but these tests take a little while to process, right? So we've gotten back the results, and from the blood tests, they're all normal. The CT scan is also normal, and the urine drug screen we got back is normal, so it shows that he has no illicit drugs in his system. Right, so from these results, my assessment, and from what you've told me over the past 3 years that's been going on, it appears to me that Dylan is suffering from a condition known as schizophrenia.
Schizo who? Lord Father. Oh God, doctor, where is that now?
So schizophrenia is a condition in which a patient loses touch with reality and he begins to behave very erratically. Now we don't know the exact cause of this condition, but we do know that it can be brought on by multiple factors such as stress, a person's genetic makeup, how a person socializes, as well as social and psychological factors. Thankfully, there is treatment for this condition, but on the flip side is that he has to be admitted to the ward, to the psychiatric unit to start treatment.
What? Doctor? You mean to say my Dylan have to stay in the mad one? You is saying he crazy? Doctor, my husband is mad, you know.
No, Dylan, of course your husband is not mad. We do not call any person with any mental illness as mad. Right? It's a common misconception of the public that needs to be changed. Patients like Dylan could go on to live normal and productive lives once they adhere to the treatment. So it's a stigma that must be stopped, right?
So doctor, why we can't carry him home and give him the tablets home?
Ideally, that's not the ideal situation, as he's not in the right frame of mind to go. Because he could pose a threat not just to himself but to others around him. So it's best if he stays with us for a while. Now on the ward, as his body is getting acquainted to the new medication we have him on, he may experience some side effects. And of course that would be the best place that once we observe it, we can treat him right away. And furthermore, we can further observe this, how he behaves on the ward to confirm our diagnosis.
Well doctor, I don't know how I'm going home to tell my mother-in-law that she son end up in the mad one. She thinking it's some demon possession and she says she currently by the opium man tomorrow.
Okay, well you may not be able to argue with your mother-in-law as she is entitled to her beliefs. However, for the most part, the patients who present, who have the type of behavior that Dylan has, most of the time it's due to a mental illness in which there is a chemical imbalance in the brain and not to a religious problem, a spiritual problem. Right? I mean, you could go ahead and see if you can explain and reason with her, see if she understands. But, I mean, a person's spiritual as well as religious beliefs are important aspects in a person's life, but so is a person's health. Therefore, it is important that we recognize how mental illnesses present.
Okay, doctor. Well, thanks very much for everything,
No problem.
And just take care of my Dylan,
I'm
right?
going to do the best that I can.
Okay, doctor.
All right.